Hi everyone. I have no idea if you can see me. I'm going to log into my Facebook account and make sure that I'm in your group and not on my page. It does say that I'm in your group, so that is a plus. Because I'm the kind of person that would like totally post this on my own Facebook page and then be like, oh my gosh, whoopsies. Okay, so here I am. Okay, so I see that I'm in your group. Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up. So Bethany, I got to meet Bethany at Diamond Bound. Hi, Bethany. And I just fell in love with her and everything about what she teaches. And so I just asked her to talk in our group, our business group, and she did that. And then she asked me if I would talk in her group. So here I am. So I'm so honored to be with you guys. I'm going to talk about the power of your mind, and I'm going to do my workshop that I did at the Diamond Bound thing. So I have my little presentation here on my phone, and I'm going to go through the slides so that I keep track of stuff. So I'm just going to get started. And then if you have questions, I'll do my best to kind of keep an eye on the comment section, but feel free to just ask. I'll definitely stick around afterwards and answer questions at the end, okay? So doubt, fear, and stress. How many of you all have that going on? Hello, yes. We all have that, right? And so when it comes to life, when it comes to business, we have negative feelings popping in all the time. Some of them are from stuff that we think ourselves. Some of the doubt, fear, and stress comes from external sources, people that are doubting us, people that are questioning us. And some of it comes from stuff that happens just because Young Living sells out of mascara and stuff like that, right? So when we have those negative emotions, it's really important to know that when we deal with doubt, fear, and stress, it's causing our bodies to have a negative chemical physical reaction, and it's causing us to go into a fight or flight response. So if you know anything about science, fight or flight response means that your body is going into a protection survival mode, and that means it's going to send more blood and oxygen to your heart and your lungs so that you can stay alive, but that means less oxygen and blood going to your brain. So that means less of the good stuff that you really need to make the right kind of judgments and the right kind of decisions that are going to be really, really healthy for you. So life in general, as women, as moms, as business owners, we are constantly living in like this low level stress. And so we constantly have that fight or flight going on. And so I'm going to teach you how to get control of that so that you're getting as much blood and oxygen to your brain as you need to so that you can make the kind of decisions for yourself, for your family, for your business that you really do want to. Because there's a disconnect that happens when we want something and we know intellectually this is what I should be doing, but then because of the stress, because of the doubt, because of the fear, the blood and oxygen's not going 100% to our brain, so we kind of just revert back to the old patterns. Anybody do that? Like, we all have these great goals of like, I want to sell blank mini kits, I'm going to get to this next rank, or I'm going to talk to so many people, and then we don't, and then we're like, oh, well, why didn't I do that? And it's because we're not focusing on the right things, and that's oftentimes because we've got this just low-level stress. So we're going to talk about the brain and the conscious and subconscious mind, okay? So you've got two parts of your brain. One is the conscious and one is the subconscious. And the conscious mind is the part of your brain that's the rational part. It's the thinking, planning part of your brain, but it's also the worst case scenario part. It's the part of your brain that tends to just think of like, okay, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if, what, you know, like, and the like myriad of catastrophes that could possibly happen. And I don't know why we think that way. Maybe it's part of our like survival mechanism. But for whatever reason, we think like, okay, I want to hit blank rank. Like I want to hit star by the end of this month. And then all these negative thoughts come up of like, well, I've already enrolled everybody that I know. Nobody wants to talk about oils. No one's coming to my classes. I'm, already posting and nobody's even commenting. And so we tend to have like all these negative thoughts, right? And then we catastrophize and think like, oh, I'm never going to build my business. It's never going to happen. So that's our conscious mind, right? And then we have our subconscious mind. And that has two parts. It controls all our bodily functions and it records every single experience that you've ever had in your life. So everything that you've experienced from birth till now has been recorded in your brain, kind of like how your hard drive of your computer records every single thing that you've ever done, right? The conscious mind is kind of like the keyboard and the screen. I can type stuff in, it shows up right where it's supposed to show up. I can press and click on Google and the internet somehow pops up, right? I don't know how any of that happens, but the hard drive has already been programmed so that when I press Google app, the Google app opens up and the internet shows up. So the hard drive of the computer has all these processes that already know how to make things work, just like our body has all these processes that already know how to make things work. Meaning like when I eat my food, I chew it, but I don't have to think about, okay, stomach, release the acid that's now going to like break down the food, right? Like it just does that. And then when you go to sleep, you lay down and you aren't telling your body, okay, heart rate, now start slowing down. Okay, now lungs, just like breathe more deeply, right? Like it just, your brain just knows what to do. So if you've had thoughts of doubt and fear and stress related about your business or related about your confidence level or related about your ability to grow your business, all of those hundreds of times, maybe even thousands of times that you've said those statements to yourself, they're being recorded in your brain. And every time you say them, they're reinforcing that program in your brain so that that program of doubt and fear and lack of confidence are going to be the ones that have the most power. And so no matter how much you intellectually know, like I'm totally capable of doing this and I'm going to hit star by the end of the month, that program that you've now reinforced of all the doubt and the fear is the one that takes control. So we need to shift that, right? We need to change the way that we're thinking and reprogram our brain so that it's going to have the most powerful programming in our brain is going to be the one of confidence, of self-worth, of knowing that I can do this, I've got this, and even if I've, talked to 5 billion people about oils, the next person or the 10th person that I talk to, that's going to be my next rock star. And that you're not going to give up and just be like, womp, womp, poor me. No one wants to talk to me about oils. No one wants to buy oils. So that's the subconscious mind, okay? You've got those two parts. You've got 3 laws of the mind that we're going to talk about that are really, really important. And if you've ever heard me talk, I talk about these 3 laws of the mind every single time because it's just mind-blowing the amount of power that we have with our thought process that we aren't harnessing. We're just letting it just slip away. And I want us to all reclaim our power, and these 3 laws of the mind are going to help you understand how powerful you are. So the first law of the mind is that every thought creates a physical or chemical change. Okay, so every single thought that you have creates some kind of physical or chemical change. And research shows that we think about 20 to 30,000 thoughts per day. So anybody really realistically able to say that you are aware, consciously aware of 20 to 30,000 thoughts every single day? Probably not, right? Like even the most racing mind, there's no way that they're consciously aware of 20 to 30,000 thoughts per day. So it's kind of like an iceberg. If you can picture an iceberg, like the surface, above the surface piece of ice is massive, right? But underneath the surface, there's a bigger, more humongous piece of ice that goes all the way down to the ocean floor. So the surface, above the surface part, is our conscious mind. We're aware of like maybe like 10% of all of those thoughts. And then the whole underneath layer of that subconscious mind is all that programming that we've gotten from when we're little to all the way till now, of all of those negative statements that we've said to ourselves or the messages that we've gotten from the people around us. And so every thought creating a physical chemical change is something really important to know, because if you're feeling stuck about your business, you have to check in with how you're thinking and what you're thinking, because what you're thinking is probably contributing to how you're feeling stuck. And if you can shift your thinking just a tiny little bit, then it's really going to do a huge favor for yourself and for your business if you can just find that little bit to shift your thought process, okay? So I want you guys to just quickly close your eyes, and I want you to do a quick little exercise to show you the power of your mind. So I want you to close your eyes or just kind of look down and kind of zone out and just listen to my instructions. And I want you to imagine that you're in a kitchen, and this kitchen is like a favorite kitchen of yours. Maybe it's like grandma's kitchen or the kitchen that you grew up in, or your dream kitchen. And I want you to see this kitchen, and I want you to imagine that on the counter of this kitchen is a cutting board with a lemon and a safe knife. Okay, and I want you to take the knife, and I want you to cut the lemon in half, and I want you to take half of the lemon and hold it up to your nose. And I want you to take a nice big whiff of that lemon, and I want you to notice how you can smell the lemony, citrusy freshness of that lemon. Wafting in through your nasal cavity, and you can just smell that citrusy fresh smell, okay? And next I want you to imagine that you're going to sink your teeth into that half of the lemon, and how you can feel the lemon juices now like rolling around in your mouth, and how you're getting that kind of like twingy, like sour sensation in the back of your mouth, and how you might even notice how you have some extra saliva now in your mouth, just because your mouth is salivating now from that lemon. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. So give me thumbs up or hearts if you were able to smell the lemon. And give me thumbs up and hearts if you were able to taste the lemon and if you notice that sour feeling in the back of your mouth. Okay, I'm getting lots of hearts and thumbs up, and I got one angry and a flower. Okay, so that goes to show you there's no lemon, right? There's no lemon. You didn't cut it. You didn't smell it. You definitely didn't bite into it. I just gave you some suggestions that you followed, and your brain took you to a place, to a kitchen, and had you imagine it, and then that thought process of cutting the lemon, smelling it, and biting into it created physical and chemical changes that made it you actually smell the lemon, or even taste the lemon, or get that like sour taste in the back of your mouth, right? So that just shows you the power of your mind. So let's do one more quick little exercise to show you how every thought creates a physical chemical change. Pretend that like right back there is a big chalkboard, and that I got really long, fancy acrylic nails on my nails, and I'm gonna just drag my fingers down that chalkboard, and you're gonna hear that horrible sound. Okay, so if you heard that sound, if you even, before I even started it, go ahead and thumbs up, give me some hearts. That shows that just me saying it, yeah, don't do it, Laura says. Yeah, not even, I didn't even do anything, and people already were probably feeling that like, ugh, feeling of nails on a chalkboard, right? So somewhere in your life, you heard nails on a chalkboard. It got registered in your subconscious mind, that memory keeper, and we just accessed it right here, right now, and created the physical chemical changes so that you just had that shuddery feeling of like, oh, nails on a chalkboard. Every thought creates a physical chemical change. So you've got to make sure that you're thinking the right kinds of thoughts. There's an amazing experiment that was done with people that needed arthroscopic knee surgery. They're having knee pain and they had to have these scopes put in their knees to get something cleaned out because something was causing the pain. So the doctors decided to do an experiment to see, did the control group have the same experience as the people who actually got the surgery? But they wanted to switch it up so that the control group actually got a fake surgery. Instead of them just like not getting anything, they got what they thought was a real surgery, but it was a fake surgery. So they laid on the table and they had a drape so they couldn't see below their waist. They got the cuts where the incisions would go. They had the doctor with the white lab coat behind the curtain, you know, behind the drapes, and moving something around so that the patient would think that there were the camera scopes inside the knee. They had a TV in the room showing the inside of someone else's knee because the cameras go in so the doctors can see what's going on. So the patient's laying there, they're in a hospital gown, they're in a hospital, they've got a drape in front of them so they can't see, but they're feeling the sensation of something in their knees. The doctor's saying like, oh, look up on the screen, check it out, that's the inside of your knee. Look, here's the place that's causing you problems. Oh, look, we're scraping it away. You're going to have no more pain. You're going to be good to go. Sewed them up, never told them like you actually got nothing done. And when they compared the two groups, the one that got the fake surgery and the one that got the actual surgery, the results were the same, okay? The people that got the fake surgery had the same success rates as the people that actually got something removed from their knee that was causing them pain. How in the world does it happen? It happens because the people that had the fake surgery believed that they were really getting a surgery. So their subconscious mind took that as reality and created the physical and chemical changes that created healing. They didn't get anything removed, remember? Like nothing got done other than a small incision and something moving around as if the scopes were in the knee. Okay, so people can do healing, the power of their mind. What are we doing with the power of our minds? We're absolutely not utilizing it to the best of our ability, right? So every thought creates a physical chemical change. You better make sure that you're paying attention to what you're thinking and how you're thinking it. If you're having a negative emotion, examine what you're thinking and see what you can shift to get that thought process to change. So you can only think one thing at a time. All right. So how many of you are like, it's almost the end of the month and I need to get more enrollments, but nobody's contacting me. Wah, wah. I don't have anybody to ask anymore. Like I've run out of my warm market. Wah, wah. You know, like it's something that everyone deals with, right? Like you start like thinking like, oh crud, like I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't know. Nobody's like commenting. Nobody's asking me questions about oils anymore. Well, that thought process needs to be shifted a little bit. So you have to pay attention to when you say things about what you want. I want to have more enrollments this month so I can hit star or whatever. We usually say that, and then there's a whole nother extra negative, like, paragraph afterwards, right? Like we say, like, I want to do this, but this, that, and the other. And so if law number 2 is that you can only think one thing at a time, and you're saying one thing, and then you're saying the polar opposite of that. I want this, but it's not going to happen because of this. Then your brain is going to be like, I don't know, which one do you want? Do you want to have enrollments? Do you want to hit star by the end of the month? Or do you not have anybody that might be interested in kids? So I don't know what you want, so I'm just going to stay here and I'm just going to be stuck. Until you give your brain the right clear message of what you want with no doubt, with no you know, but this, but that, worst case scenario. Until you give your brain the clear message of what you want, it's not going to know what you want it to do. And our subconscious mind is the part of our brain that was programmed by God, the universe, whatever you believe in. Like, it's the part of our brain that was programmed with, like, at a certain point in your life, you're going to start crawling. At a certain point in your life, you're going to know how to walk. At a certain point in your life, you're going to know how to put those jumbled letters and have it be something that makes a word that you understand. Your brain's already programmed with all of that. And your brain is already programmed with all of the abundance that you deserve and all of the abilities that you need so that you can be successful. We're just typically not accessing that because we're blocking it by the way that we think of the, I want this, but blah, 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 okay? So you cannot, from this point on, have the I want and then the big but and the what if, worst case scenario, okay? So you have to start doing this. You have to start saying cancel, cancel, delete, delete, okay? So when you catch yourself saying those negative thoughts after your positive statement of what you want, you have to end that immediately and say cancel, cancel, or delete, delete in your head quietly. And what that's going to do is it's not going to reinforce that recording, that programming that is already there. Like, how many times, if you really paid attention to how negatively you talk to yourself about your business, about your life, about your ability to do this successfully, there's probably just like this ongoing little want thing in the back of your head all the time that's doubting you, right? And so that program is going to be the most powerful, most automatic played program. So by canceling and deleting the statement, you're going to not reinforce that program. You're going to cancel it and delete it and then replace it with the thought of what you want. I want enrollments in the next 5 days of this month. I want kit sales just falling into my lap. End of story. No what if, no what worst case scenario, no but this, but that, okay? None of that. Just, I want kits falling into my lap through the end of this month. And you have to just trust that God, the universe, whatever you believe in, is going to bring that to you. And that your subconscious mind is going to take that and run with it. And that the third law of the mind, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is going to come into play, okay? You also have to get rid of the words don't and the words try, okay? If you're saying like, oh, I don't want to be stuck at this level. I'm stuck. I don't want to be stuck. Your brain is hearing, I want to be stuck, okay? Your brain doesn't really compute the word don't. So just like when you tell a little kid, don't touch that, they're touching it and looking at you like, what? What'd you just say? So you have to make sure the don't gets canceled out and try gets canceled out, okay? How many of you have said, like, I'm going to try to sell 5 kits this month. I'm going to try to hit the next rank. Okay, so how many of you have like tried to lose weight? Thumbs up. Tried to go to the gym more, tried to eat healthier, tried to go to bed earlier, tried to work out. Try, right? When you try to do stuff, you might be successful for a short period of time, but it's never going to be a lasting, long-term change. Because when you say try to your brain automatically says like, well, she's not 100% committed, so we're not gonna do this. Okay, so you have to just commit to, I'm gonna sell 5 kits this month. End of story, no what ifs, no buts, no worst case scenario. And hey, sometimes it doesn't happen, okay? That's reality. If it doesn't happen at the end of the month, then you can be bummed. Then you can just like, you know, have your little pity party that you're allowed to have and deal with it then. But if you're constantly thinking, I want this, but worst case scenario, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, you're causing that stress, that low level grade of fight or flight to be happening. And you're also canceling out what you really want. Okay, so make sure that you're canceling and deleting the tries, the don'ts, and the negative after the conversation statements. And that's really going to help give your brain the right message, and takes us to making sure that when you're feeling those negative emotions, that you really check yourself and change those thought processes to something of gratitude, okay? Instead of being critical of your downline or blaming them or feeling stressed about it or rushing through stuff or being in a bad mood, you have the power, just like law number 1, every thought creates a physical chemical change. You have the power to shift how you're feeling by shifting what you're thinking. So if you're feeling frustrated because no one's contacting you, you feel like your enrollments are dropping or whatever, take a deep breath, think about what is my thought process here and how can I change it, and just switch it to something a little bit more positive or to something grateful. I'm just so grateful that I have this business. And hey, I would love to have 5 more enrollments by the end of this month so that I can hit star or senior star. And I'm just going to have confidence to share and continue what I'm doing. And I'm going to still share my passion no matter what. End of story. No worst case scenario, no extra little commentary, right? And so if you can change it and just be grateful about your experience or the situation that you have and whatever you've got going on, and be grateful about opportunities that are going to come to you, then that's going to bring more goodness into your life, more abundance into your life, which brings us to law number 3, which is your thoughts create your reality, okay? So your thoughts create your reality. That's sometimes a little bit hard for people to wrap their minds around. But your thoughts actually come before your reality, which is really weird to think about. So how on earth does that happen? Well, scientific research has shown this to be true. So quantum physics is super science, fact-based. But they've shown that our thoughts are little waves of energy that leave our head. And everything that leaves its original source, all the energy that leaves its original source always comes back to its original source. So if all I'm thinking are these like ping-ponging feelings and thoughts about like, I want this, but I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I have enough people. I don't know if my team is that, motivated or whatever, then all of those negative thoughts are the things that are going to come back to us. And that's why we typically feel stuck, is because our thought process is actually going out and creating it. So again, you have to pay attention to what you're thinking, cancel and delete it, change it to what you want so that it creates the physical and chemical changes that will be positive for you to feel good about your business, inspired about your business, but also give your brain the right message, that connection that you have to the source, to God, the universe, whatever, and so that that energy is going out and that you're attracting that kind of energy versus the negative, the doubting, stressed energy. Okay? So one of the things that I did at Diamond Bound was I played a game called And Then What? And so I think it'll be kind of hard to do on a Facebook Live. So I'm just going to explain how I do it. So in my before Young Living life, I was a hypnotherapist. And one of the things that I did was I worked with people that were dealing with fertility issues. So a game that I would play with my clients, especially with my fertility clients, was the And Then What game. Okay, so people would come to me and say, I've been trying to get pregnant and my doctor says I'm infertile and, blah, blah, blah about my eggs, or blah, blah, blah about husband's sperm, or maybe nothing is wrong with eggs or sperm, but they've been trying and trying and trying and they can't get pregnant, okay? First off, trying to get pregnant, cancel that, delete that, right? You can't try to do anything. You have to just be working on being pregnant or just dealing with fertility issues instead of being infertile or being diagnosed with infertility. See how just shifting the language can just make a difference. Instead of being infertile or dealing with infertility, you're working on being pregnant. So anyways, these people would come to me and they'd be like, you know, like, what if I never get pregnant? Okay, so that would be like their worst case scenario. Every thought that they would have would be, I want to get pregnant, but what if I don't? Okay, so, and then what? And they'd be like, what? Yeah, and then what? What if you can't, what if you never get pregnant? And then they would say, well, I'd be really sad and I'd probably be depressed. Yep, you're allowed to be that. Okay, and then what? Be really hard to be around family and friends that have kids. Okay, yep, totally allowed to feel that. And then what? Well, you know, my husband and I, we've talked about maybe adopting. Okay, and then what? I guess we would adopt. And then what? We'd adopt, and then what? I'd have the kids that I wanted, and then what? And, you know, I don't know if I could love them enough because what, blah, blah, blah. And then what? I learned that, you know, having kids of my own, I'd love them no matter what. And then what? I guess I would have a happy life. Okay. You know, if they chose not to have kids, and then what? My husband and I would travel and we'd live a really independent life and we'd have a lot of fun. Okay. So we oftentimes get stuck at the what we think is the worst case scenario, and we don't allow ourselves to look past that to see that, like, no matter what happens after that worst case scenario, like, yes, obviously you're going to have emotions that you're going to have to deal with, right? So say, you know, you tell your team, I'm going to go for it. I'm hitting silver this month. And then you don't hit silver. Okay, and then what? Are you going to quit? No. Are you going to be a complete failure? No. Is some of your team going to look at you and be like, well, she didn't hit silver? Yeah. Are you going to have a little bit of doubt? Yeah. And then you figure it out, right? And then you talk to your team about, like, okay, I didn't make silver, and here's what I did do. And being able to look back and see what I did, I probably could have done more of this, or I didn't try this. And so, like, the failure of not hitting silver, not hitting your goal, we stop there and get so freaked out by it that we don't let ourselves think beyond that. And the reality is, if you think beyond that, okay, yeah, it'll suck that you didn't hit silver when you wanted to, and it's a little bit embarrassing to put it out there, but it's also vulnerable, and it shows people that this is real, that you're a real deal, that you're a real person, and that real people sometimes don't always hit their goals, right? That's a good thing to show your team, is that sometimes you put some goals out there that don't always work out, and that it's not a perfect journey to hit, you know, all of the ranks, and that it's sometimes going to be challenging. And so if you don't hit silver, you're going to look back and go, okay, I could have done more of this, I could have done more of that, maybe less of this, whatever. And you're going to learn from it, right? You're going to learn from that experience, and you're going to be able to share that with your team members and motivate them and inspire them to show them that, like, okay, I didn't hit silver this month, but hey, you know what? I'm going to put these different things into place, and I'm going to work with these different people in my downline, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. And you know what? I'm going to hit silver, and it's going to be even better, right? And then you're going to hit silver, and it's going to feel amazing. And you're just going to keep going. So the and then what thought process is really good, especially if you're working with someone who's feeling super stuck, or you're feeling super stuck about your business or something in your life, right? Like, all this stuff is totally applicable for everything in your life, just your Young Living business. So by being able to think about beyond that work, what you think is the worst case scenario, and see that, like, it's all good. Like, the end result for everyone is that no matter what happens, it might be the most devastating situation, like the people that I would work with fertility stuff, or someone would lose a spouse or something, right? It's heartbreaking, and it's gonna be hard. And then you deal with those emotions, and you come out of it a stronger person, and having gratitude for the experience that you've had, and finding a different avenue for happiness and abundance, that maybe it wasn't exactly how you planned, but it's still going to be a beautiful, wonderful life no matter what happens. Does that make sense? So thinking about what you want, you have to be careful and mindful about what you're sending out and making sure that you're canceling and deleting those thoughts, okay? So the next thing I want to talk about is guided imagery. We're going to do a quick little guided imagery, but I want to talk about why it works and how it works. So give me some thumbs up and hearts if you've ever driven home and realized, oh my heck, I don't even remember driving how I got here. The last 10 minutes, I totally wasn't even paying attention. Okay? And how many of you have gotten so involved in work or whatever, or something super fun, and time has flown by? You look up at the clock and like an hour or 2 hours has gone by. Anybody? Okay, so when we get in those zones where we're driving and we're not really paying attention, we're thinking about dinner, we're thinking about whatever, what's happening is your conscious mind is thinking about dinner and work and whatever. And your conscious mind is, or your subconscious mind's like, hello, no one's paying attention to driving. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know how to drive, and we've driven home so many times, and I know how to get there. And so we turn here and we slow down here and we go this way, and that's how you get home. And that's why when sometimes you get home, you realize like, oh, crud, I was supposed to go to the grocery store because I needed like the one last ingredient for dinner, and now I'm already in my garage. Whoops. So your subconscious mind takes over because it's recorded all of those times that you've driven home. So guided imagery works because what it's doing is helping your conscious mind take that little side step over so that your subconscious mind can come to the forefront so that we can program into it the kinds of thought processes that you really, really, truly want for your life, for your business, okay? How many of you have gone to the movies and sat there and like bawled your eyes out because it's like so beautiful of a movie or such a sad story or whatever, or sat there with your hands like gripped onto the arm seat thing because you're like jumping out of your seat because it's super scary? Your conscious mind knows that you're sitting in a movie theater watching a screen, a flat screen with actors on it, playing out some fake story, okay? Your subconscious mind loves imagery and it loves stories. And so your subconscious mind gets sucked into the movie, so you start acting and reacting as if it's real, right? And at the end of this beautiful movie, when the lights go up and the credits go up, you're like, no, I want to know more about these people. I can't leave them. And you're like thinking about like, what are they going to do now? And what's their life going to be like now? And like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to like see the sequel to see what happened to them, right? Well, that's your subconscious mind getting sucked into this movie because your conscious mind knows this is a totally fake story. Okay, so that's what guided imagery is. We actually go in and out of that state of consciousness where your conscious mind takes that little sidestep to allow your subconscious mind to come to the forefront. We go in and out of that state all the time. So I'm going to walk you through a guided imagery exercise, and you're either going to allow whatever I talk about to go into your head and just let your imagination go where I talk you through, or not, and that's totally fine, like whatever you feel most comfortable with. But it's really powerful to do this kind of an exercise to help get your brain where you really want it to be, and to get that programming, that hard drive memory programming, to be the kind of thought process that you really, really want so that you can be successful in all areas of your life. Okay, so okay, we're gonna get started now. So I want you just to like put your phones down or whatever and sit in a comfortable space and just have your feet firmly planted on the ground. And just go ahead and close your eyes, or just kind of, if you'd rather have your eyes open, just kind of like point them down and just kind of stare at the floor, okay? And I want you to just take a couple of nice calming breaths in and out, and just really focus on your breath and relaxing yourself, and just exhale relaxation. And I want you to imagine that like right above your head is your own personal sun. It's like your own personal, perfectly sized sun. And you can feel the warmth of the sun on the top of your head. And the warmth of the sun is just helping to relax the muscles all in your scalp. And you can feel your scalp relaxing, and I want you to bring that warm, glowing light, that really loving, beautiful light of the sun down into your forehead, relaxing all the muscles of your forehead. And bring that light and that energy and that feeling of relaxation of that warm sun into your eyes, and relax all the muscles in and around your eyes. The ones that hold your eyeballs, the ones that work your eyelids, and all of that. And bring that light, that beautiful glowing sunlight, that warm, loving energy into your cheeks and your jaw, letting your jaw muscles relax, letting your lower jaw separate from your upper jaw, letting your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. And really focus on relaxing your jaw muscles, relaxing your tongue, and relaxing your lips. And just imagine that sun just radiating that warm, loving, glowing light, and bring that light now into your neck and into your shoulders. And you can feel that light just glowing through your shoulders, releasing and relaxing, and feeling all the muscles in your shoulders just sinking into the frame of your body as your body just releases and relaxes, letting go of the tension and the stress of the day. And bring that relaxation down into your arms, from your shoulders into your elbows, from your elbows into your wrists, from your wrists into your hands, from your hands into your fingertips, all the way down, down, down into every fingertip. And I want you to imagine that at the tip of every finger is a little faucet. And I want you to go ahead and open the little faucet and let all of the stress of the day, all of the tension, any negative feelings, any resentment, any guilt, any anger, any whatever, negative stuff, just flow out your fingertips. And you might even imagine those negative emotions as a certain kind of grungy, yucky color. And it's just being released out of your fingertips, out into the universe to dissipate, out into the universe to be gone forever, to be replaced by that beautiful glowing sunlight. Okay? And then go ahead and bring your attention to your chest and your stomach, and notice your breathing, and notice how your breathing is already slowed down compared to just a few moments ago when we first started. And just bring that loving light into your chest and your stomach. Slide it around your ribcage, up into your back, starting at the top of your back, and have it moving down each vertebra one by one, just releasing and relaxing. Every exhalation, just allowing you to release and relax more and more with every breath. Sinking down deeper and deeper into relaxation, moving that relaxation down into your hips, your thighs, the tops of your thighs, the backs of your thighs, your knees, your calves and your shins, all the way down into your ankles, all the way down into your feet, the tops of your feet and the bottoms of your feet, all the way down to the very tips of your toes. And again, imagine those little faucets, opening them up, scanning your entire body for any remaining stress, tension, fear, guilt, resentment, anger, all the negative stuff just flowing out your fingertips, out your toes, out into the universe to be gone forever, replaced by that wonderful, glowing, loving energy. So that your whole entire body now is just filled with that beautiful light, and you feel really light, or maybe you feel heavy and grounded. Whatever sensation you're feeling right now is perfect for you. And I want you just to enjoy this feeling of relaxation and allow your conscious mind and body to stay here, and allow your subconscious mind to just follow me and the suggestions that I'm going to be giving you in just a moment. So I want you now to just allow your subconscious mind to follow this little journey with me. And I want you to imagine that you are standing in a beautiful forest, beautiful magical forest. And in front of you is a clearing. The sun is shining, and you step out into the clearing. You feel that warm sun against your skin. Maybe there's a light breeze. Maybe you can even smell some of the scents of the forest around you. And in front of you is a cute little cottage. It's almost like it's out of a fairy tale. Beautiful, cute little cottage, really inviting looking. And the windows are open. The curtains are just, moving in the wind. And the door's open. So you go ahead and look inside, and it looks super inviting. And there's nobody in there. So you go ahead and go into this little cottage, and you notice a desk with a book on it. And you go ahead and sit down. And you notice that this book is the book of your life. And so I want you to go ahead and page through it and notice from the beginning until now, maybe it's words, maybe it's pictures, maybe it's even videos of different experiences of your life. And I want you to notice how every single thing that's ever happened to you has been recorded into this book. And we're going to do a little exercise here to get rid of all of the things that are holding you back, all the blockages that are holding you back. So I want you to go through your book, and because your subconscious mind can work really quickly and effectively, you're able to go through your book, and you're going to tear out all of the pages that no longer serve you. Whether it's the words or the actions or episodes or videos or pictures of different experiences that happen to you throughout your life, I want you to tear them out, crumpled up, and throw them onto the floor. Each one tearing it out, crumpling it up, and throwing it onto the floor. All of the experiences in your life that do not serve you any longer, that are holding you back. Maybe it's an experience from your life from when you were little, when someone didn't believe in you or doubted you or told you you weren't good enough. Or maybe it was an experience that you had that really embarrassed you, that is keeping you from shining your light, your true self now. So go through your book and know that your subconscious mind is able to identify all the things that are necessary to be taken out of this book. Crumple up all those pages, tear them out, and keep skimming through the book and getting all of those pages that no longer need to be in the book of your life out of that book. And go ahead and move quickly, and you might not even notice what it is on the page. It's not even really necessary to know what exactly is on the page because your subconscious mind knows what's going on the page. And so just trust that your subconscious mind is going to tear out the necessary pages. So just let your subconscious mind do its work really quickly, really efficiently, and go ahead and finish up your work, knowing that you can come and do this anytime, but you're going to get everything taken care of that you need to in this guided imagery exercise that we're doing right here, right now. So go ahead and finish up. And notice all those crumpled pieces of paper on the floor, all of those experiences that happen to you that are holding you back from shining your true light, from being your best version of yourself, from feeling confident and knowing your self-worth. And I want you now to throw all of those pieces of paper into the fireplace that's right in front of you in your beautiful, cute little storybook cottage. So shove all those wads of paper into your fireplace. Every single last one of them, you're shoving them into that fireplace. Get them all in there. Look around. Make sure you're not missing any underneath the chair or whatever. And get them all into that fireplace. And again, you're able to work really, really quickly and efficiently. So you get all those pieces of paper that are pieces of your life that no longer are serving you. And I want you to find a match or a lighter and torch those pieces of paper. And you can feel the heat, whoosh, all of a sudden they go up in flames, and you can feel the heat against your skin, and you can smell the smoke happening, and all of a sudden they just up in flames. All of a sudden they're just on fire, bright orange, yellow, red. And because these are such old pieces of paper, they torch really quickly. And then pretty soon they're just crumpled up, dried up pieces of ash, gray, flat ash. The fire's already gone out. They've destroyed all of those pieces of paper, all of those experiences that have been holding you back. And now a little wind tunnel comes to take every little last piece of all of those ashes, and it's going to take that wind tunnel up, 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 out of your fireplace, up out the chimney, out into the universe to be gone forever, so that now all that you see in your fireplace is just a nice, clean fireplace. And now I want you to go back to your seat, back to the book of your life, open it up at this page right here, right now, where you either see yourself sitting at this table with your book in front of you, or you're thinking about it or imagining it. And I want you to go forward in your book. I want you to page through it, maybe even skip a chapter or two. And I want you to open it up and find the page where you hit diamond. Okay? So you've got your book opened to the page where you are diamond. And on this page, maybe it's a picture, maybe it's even a video of you walking on that stage, getting to meet Mary and Gary, giving them a big old hug, and you can hear your team cheering for you. Your heart is just racing because you're so excited that you are finally here, and that you are a diamond, and that you are receiving your diamond award up on stage. And then you stand there with Mary and Gary on each side of you, just stand there to smile for that picture, and your cheeks are just like almost in pain because you're smiling so hard because you can't believe it. And you might even imagine and feel and experience that you have tears in the corner of your eyes because you're just so incredibly proud of yourself for doing all of the work necessary for helping your team members and doing the work that you needed to do and the personal growth that you needed to do, and how you've just become such a better person, that you've really stepped into who you truly were meant to be, the person that the universe, that God put you on earth to be. And so I want you to feel it and see it as if this is real. Okay, maybe even you're stepping into this magical book of your life and be in that moment of you standing on that stage, looking out at the crowd and seeing your team members just screaming their heads off with pride and so happy for you, feeling your cheeks hurt so much because you're smiling so hard, experiencing those tears in the corners of your eyes, or maybe even the tears are streaming down your face. And you can hear and see and feel and smell, just, it's everything. You can experience all of the senses of you being diamond on that stage, and it just feels absolutely amazing. Okay? And once you have that experience, fully experiencing it in your mind, in your body, as if it's real, I want you to step out of your book, close your book, and know that this experience is your reality. This is happening. This is you. This is your life. This is already recorded in the book of your life. And from this moment on, you are going to be paying attention to your thought process. You're going to be deleting and canceling all of the negative thoughts. You're going to help your team members learn about the power of their mind and how they can put out there what they want. And you are going to do everything necessary so that you are a diamond, so that that picture and that experience that you just had is your reality. Okay? Knowing that you can come back to this cottage, back to your book at any time to do any further work and to get rid of anything else that might come up at a later point. But for now, you've done all the work necessary. You've gotten rid of all of the things that have been holding you back. So right here, right now, you are just on your way. Full steam ahead. All lights are green. Go, go, go to hit diamond, okay? And we're going to come back to the room. I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. When I count to 5, you're going to open your eyes. You're going to feel as though you took a nice, refreshing nap. You're going to feel totally energized, totally awake, totally refreshed. And you're going to know that when you open your eyes, your subconscious mind has accepted this entire experience, everything that I walked you through, as your reality, as your truth. And you're going to know 100% that your reality does include you hitting diamond in your future. Okay? So 1, feeling yourself coming back to the room. 2, feeling yourself coming back into your body. 3, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. 4, taking a nice, deep, refreshing breath in, almost to that number when I said that you would open your eyes feeling completely refreshed and relaxed. When I say that next number, you're going to automatically save all of the work that we've did, knowing that your subconscious mind has accepted all of the suggestions that I just gave you as your reality. And on the number 5, you're going to open your eyes feeling totally refreshed, totally energized, as if you took a little nap, knowing that you just did some awesome, amazing work and that you are a diamond and that it's happening in your future. Okay, so come on back. Give me some thumbs up to let me know that you're back. I know that there's a little bit of a delay. Okay. So come on back to the room and let me know how you're feeling. What are your thoughts? What did you guys experience? I'm going to look at the comments now. In the meantime, here's a list of affirmations. I'll do a screenshot too and put that into the post. Affirmations are thoughts that you want to kind of program your brain with. So when you say them, I want you to just say them very quickly so that you're not allowing that conscious mind, that Debbie Downer mind to come in and be like, wah, wah, I don't really think I can do that. You're just going to say them and say them quickly to start with so that your brain can just get used to those thoughts. And you're going to reinforce those thoughts every time you say them. And so that program is going to become the most powerful program in your brain. And then eventually you're going to get to the point where you will be able to say them in a way that is going to feel authentic. At first, it might not feel that authentic, but you're going to get there, okay? And then last but not least, here's my contact info. If you go to my website, which is Yeh-Garner, all one word.com, I have 2 of my old workshops that I've done at convention, and 2 podcasts that I did for Young Living. The podcasts are really short and sweet, and they're really helpful to just like de-stress. And the 2 workshops are all about how to get rid of your blockages for your business. So we talk about the 3 laws of the mind in both of them. The Grow, Build, Dream one I bring in some Eric Worre stuff from GoPro about why this business is worthwhile. So utilize those. They're there for everybody to use for their teams. Any questions before I hop off? I'm looking back at the other older messages. Yes, this is all stuff from like The Secret, The Magic. Rhonda Burns, I think her name is the one that wrote The Secret, and all of those books are all really valuable and helpful in terms of really paying attention to your thought process and what you can do. So like the whole purpose is like we were put on earth to do great things, and oftentimes things happen in life to us, or we've told ourselves that we're not worthy, or we're not good enough, or we can't do this, can't do that because of this, that, and the other, right? And so my goal is I want people to get rid of those blockages and really be the person that you were meant to be on this earth. The good, like we have so much good to do in this world, and all of you have so many talents and skills and amazing, wonderful things that you have to give to the world. And I want you to be able to do that with no blockage, with just the freedom and the confidence of knowing like, yep, damn, I was put on this earth and I'm going to make this a better place and nothing's going to stop me. I am an introvert, crying with joy. Yay. That's my kind of little secret thing. Like whenever I do a workshop, I hope people are crying and bawling. Like I always joke, like I made people cry today. Like if you cried a little bit or a lot, that means that you were allowing yourself to really release the stuff that was held inside. Like we tend to just like shove so much down, so many different layers of stuff that we've shoved down deep that oftentimes we don't even know like what the source was that originally caused it or whatever. And so a guided imagery exercise like this just allows your subconscious mind, which knows what all of those different layers of gross, negative, yuck stuff that's holding us back, it knows what all that is, and it just helps release it. Like you don't have to be aware of it, but your brain is just able to release it. So if you weren't comfortable doing this just because this is weird and it's live and you've never done it, feel free to like go back and watch this and redo it. And you can't do this too many times. So like if you wanted to do it like every day for a week, or like at the beginning of the month and middle of the month and end of the month, like do it as many times as you need, because it's just going to help keep removing layers and layers upon layers of stuff. But yeah, I'm an introvert, meaning I can do all of this and I can talk and I can be animated, but I totally prefer to just sit in front of my computer and private message, text. I prefer sitting at home and reading and watching TV versus being in a big crowd of people and talking to people. However, I've learned how to be a social extrovert when I need to be. So I was a hypnotherapist, and I used to teach hypnobirthing, which is a natural childbirth education method. And so I'd have these pregnant couples coming to me 5 times, 5 weeks in a row for 2.5 hours, listening to me talk after work. They're, mom's pregnant, dad's been working, and everybody's tired, and I have to like keep them energized. And so I typically talk not super animated and loud and outgoing, but I had to learn how to do that to keep everybody awake. And so I've learned to be comfortable in front of people and to talk in a way that makes me look like I'm an extrovert, but I'm not an extrovert. Okay, so law number one was every thought creates a physical chemical change. Thank you for the hearts. I feel like allowing myself to process emotions. Yeah, it's just going to help you live life more fully, right? To not have those barriers, to not have those layers upon layers of stuff that you've been shoving down. Like all that stuff that we've shoved down, we think if we shove it down deep enough, it won't affect me, but it's totally affecting you. It's those negative programming conversations that are just kind of like in the back of our head. So we have to get rid of them. And a guided imagery exercise like what we just did is really going to help you. Advice and going to crown. Well, I don't think you need any advice, Bethany. You're already like kicking butt. So advice and going to crown. I would just, do you need it in OGB or legs? Really just breaking it down into really minute little pieces of where you need the growth and then pouring that into your team. And letting them know like, hey, leg, blah, blah, you're the leg that I need to hit crown diamond. Let's lock arms together and let's do this. And me hitting crown diamond means I need blank many more silvers or blank many more stars. So who's with me and who's ready to hit, you know, if everybody in this leg, you know, if 50% of the people who are in this leg can rank up one rank, or if, you know, all of the stars in this leg can up rank to senior star, then I hit crown and you guys hit senior star or whatever. So I would definitely, I'm sure you're already doing that, but that would be what I would suggest for that. Okay, any other questions? Thanks, Jordan. Love you. Okay. If there aren't any more questions, I will say good night. Thank you for joining me. I know that a lot of you are on Central and Mountain Time, so I know it's late. I appreciate you spending time with me, and if you have questions, feel free to message me, and I will take a screenshot of the affirmations and put that in the comment section of this post so that you have that. And I recommend you either like put it on your phone or print it out, stick it on your bathroom mirror, read it really fast in the morning while you brush your teeth, read it really fast at night when you brush your teeth, and just say them really fast repeatedly so that your conscious mind can't get in there with that little negative junk, and just keep saying those kinds of thoughts, and add to the list of affirmations about what your goals are for your life, for your business, for your family, all of that, because the power of your thoughts is just so incredibly amazing. Like you have to harness it, and you all have it. Like you all have like this beautiful magic wand that you can just like wave, and it's just in your head. We all have it. And we just need to actually access it and use it the right way. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.